Hello, and welcome to the Community Planning Grant Program Guidance Webinar for the fiscal year 27 round of the Community One Stop for Growth. To start with a brief overview, we have 3 program staff: myself, Maggie Kenny, Community Grants Coordinator, Senior Community Grants Coordinator Mackenzie Bell, and other Community Grants Coordinator Victoria Healy. You can find all of our contact information on the Community Planning Grant Program webpage. The main purpose of the Community Planning Grant Program is to fund activities related to community planning, zoning revisions, planning for housing, and other direct community engagement efforts. Massachusetts cities and towns, federally and state recognized tribes, and regional planning agencies may submit applications and are eligible to apply. Those applications can be submitted by one single applicant, 2 or more eligible applicants in a joint application with one lead entity, or a regional entity. As mentioned before, the Community Planning Grant Program is administered through the Community One Stop for Growth, which is a single application portal and collaborative review process. So what's new this year? Planning for housing as a project type has previously only been under the Planning and Zoning Development Continuum category, but as of this fiscal year 27 round, planning for housing will also be included under site preparation. Other changes include some shifting in who is eligible to apply. Now only cities and towns, federally and state recognized tribes, and RPAs are eligible to apply. All other public entities and private firms must partner with one of these eligible applicants to apply. Some other eligibility considerations to be aware of: non-compliant MBTA communities are ineligible for the Community Planning Grant Program, except for efforts to become compliant with Section 3A. Also, applicants with adopted housing moratoria or other restrictive bylaws that do not allow for at least a 5% increase in housing production over a single year are also ineligible. So where does the Community Planning Grant Program fit within the One Stop? So the Community Planning Grant Program now falls under 2 different categories. Like mentioned before, the planning and zoning category and the site preparation category. For planning and zoning, this should be related to community-led planning efforts for housing and/or economic development and zoning. This can include activities like a community plan, zoning revisions, and planning for future housing, etc. Under the site preparation category, for the Community Planning Grant Program, this will fall under site design and analysis. So any pre-development activities that are related to preparing a site for future commercial, industrial, and/or housing development. This applies when one is filling out the full application. For Community Planning Grant Program, you'll want to select the development category, either planning and zoning or site preparation, and from there then choose a specific project type. So for planning and zoning, the project type options are community plan, zoning revision, planning for housing, or planning for economic growth. And the focus, the project type is pre-filled if you are choosing the site preparation category. The only option is site design and analysis, and then you would fill in your project focus there as well. For more information on completing the full application, we invite you to please go to the mass.gov One Stop website to view the One Stop webinar and the application guidance as well. On this slide, I will review some highlights of the guidelines. The project budget for the Community Planning Grant Program awards single applicants up to $150,000 in grant funds. Any awards that are made over this amount are considered only for joint or regional applications and on a case-by-case basis. Also to note, while there are no local match requirements for applicants, applications with a 10% local match secured for a project will get bonus points. This is a 2 fiscal year grant, so awards that are made in the fall of 2026, those projects must be completed by the end of the fiscal year 2 years from then, which is June 30th, 2028. Eligible uses of funds. So there's a long list of things that are considered eligible uses of funds. Those activities range from master plans, corridor plans, urban renewal plans, zoning revisions, housing feasibility plans, etc. Please review the guidelines for extra information there. And just to note what funds cannot support. So ineligible activities will include anything related to the assertion of GLAM, routine administrative tasks of municipal staff, including and not limited to grant application preparation, procurement, or grant administration. Community planning grant funds cannot support parking and parking garage studies or plans, and planning for municipally owned buildings. Competitive applications. So as a kind reminder, the community planning guidelines are available on the webpage along with a specific scoring rubric. We really encourage you to take a look at those so you can maximize all possible points and submit a strong application. I will note just a couple of ways to make your application more competitive, but just in addition to the score, award recommendations also consider a number of factors listed here. We are looking at any past performance with prior HLC capital grants and capital grant contracts. We consider regional and geographic diversity when making award recommendations. We look at whether an applicant would be a first-time HLC capital grant recipient. We are considering any prior HLC investment or involvement in a project. We are looking at successful implementation of any prior HLC capital grant awards. We're factoring in environmental resiliency in projects and overarching alignment with HLC priorities, with Secretariat priorities. Competitive applications really should explain how the project addresses a specific need specific to your community. So really honing in on your community conditions, previous existing issues, and why the project will address those needs and how it will do so. Competitive applications will also have outlined a detailed scope of work that can be clearly achieved within the grant timeline. We are also looking for evidence of progress to date and clear, experienced leadership with a track record to execute the project. And competitive applications will also have feasible and defensible costs grant requests. In terms of timeline for this fiscal year 27 round, so the Community One-Stop for Growth launched on January 23rd. That was in coordination with MMA's Connect 351 conference. And you now may begin working on full applications, but you cannot yet submit those. Between January and April, program staff will be in a guidance phase. This is where applicants can submit expression of interests for different project proposals and receive tailored specific feedback on those projects. You can view webinars similar to this one that will be made available for all the different Community One-Stop for Growth grant programs, as well as take advantage of virtual office hours with program staff. The full application submission period will last 1 month between May 4th and June 3rd. This is where applicants can formally submit a full application for funding consideration. Between June and September, program teams will move into a review and evaluation phase, and notification of community planning grant awards will come in the fall of 2026. Again, we thank you so much for your interest in learning more about the Community Planning Grant Program. We strongly encourage you to check out our webpage and those guidelines for more information and to reach out to our team if you have any questions. Thank you.